Soon as the buffer goes. Alright, the buffer. Stop. Oh, this is fully charged. That's good. It's good. There we go. There we go. Put that off. Right. Let's get the stream up on here. Oh, Dark Apocalypse. Oh, I just knocked the tripod. There we go. There we go. So, yeah. This will be the obligatory part of every live stream where I'll wait around for a couple of minutes and get people to thingy. Just like that. Yeah. I don't know. 3 watching. Okay. 3 watching. Oh, I'm one of them. And there's another thing. Corner. Anyway, in this live stream, I'll be discussing a few things, including who is the person who liked this video already? Why nothing's happened yet? Okay. Anyway, I'll be talking about the Season 8 collection box set and what I thought of that since, well, I finished watching it this 3 days after I actually received it. So I'll let you know my thoughts on that. But generally, I'll speak first of all, and I might sound like a broken clock when I say this, but Terror of the Autons and Colony in Space do look amazing. The restoration on this Season 8 Blu-ray set is probably the most impressive out of all of them so far. It does look a lot better. The only thing with Terror of the Autons is, and this goes if you're watching the standard or the CGI enhanced version, is that the text is slightly misaligned. So there's that. So whoever was doing it on the template, it looks like someone's accidentally pressed the arrow down key, and the text you can see slightly misaligned because there's a little line above each of the letters on the title sequence where it says Terror of the Autons, and that's clearly where the template was, and it hasn't quite lined up. It only happens on Terror of the Autons. It doesn't happen on any others. One of the stories, just that one, which is a bit weird. Colony in Space, again, looks better. All the stories in this box set do look significantly better. Weird bird. So, yeah, they do visually look better. But then again, a lot of the cases, they are better transfers. For example, Terror of the Autons was last released in 2011, so 10 years, so they have done a new transfer. It hasn't been AI upscaled, for those who are wondering, for the most part. Generally, it's not an AI upscale, it's just a new transfer. So, for example, restoration techniques now are a lot better than they were then. So, generally, the older the story, the better now it's going to look. So, yeah. I mean, for example, on some stories you may not notice as much of a difference. For example, if they had a special edition like Claws of Axos and that had special edition version, so they had a chance to already have a new transfer done. But yeah, in terms of that, for some reason, and I don't know if anyone can tell me this, why is the DVD version of Colony in Space included? Like, it has its own dedicated disc as well, which is just the DVD version of Colony in Space, and it's not like no, it's just at the DVD version, which I don't know. Why is that included? I honestly don't know. It isn't the case for any of the others. It hasn't been the case for any of the others in the range. So why is the DVD version of Colony in Space? Because, you know, the new version has the better restoration and that done, so I don't know why they've included that. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure there is a reason. But I'm a bit baffled why there's an entire disc in the Season 8 box set, which is just for the DVD version, the DVD release, of Colony in Space. I honestly don't know why. I'll see if someone knows in the comments. Here we go, live chat. I'll just read some of the comments. TARDIS team, evening, Six Sec, how are you? I'm alright. I don't know if it's evening where you are, but here it's like mid-afternoon-ish. It's 20 to 5. Just about to turn 25 in the afternoon, so yeah, must have overlooked a mistake for Terror of the Orcs, yeah, because there was that mistake on the Season 14 box set for Season 14 on the Behind the Sofa segment, where on the first Behind the Sofa segment for Mask of Manjagara, they accidentally used the titles or the intro, that last bit of the intro for the Season 26 box set, which I pointed out, which wasn't on any of the others, so yeah. Also, I should be getting a replacement booklet for my Season 8 box set, because I got in contact with BBC DVD support and basically said to them, look, my booklet is a bit shabby around the edges, and I got a little bit going, so they should be sending me a new booklet. Apparently it's a common issue. Some people have had worse than mine. Some people have had completely missing pages and shit. So yeah, hopefully that should be the case. Other than that, everything seems fine in terms of that regards. So yeah, and I have also fully ripped Season 8 as well, which didn't take too long this time actually. I don't know if I was just more on the ball this time, but yeah, Season 8 is completely ripped MP4, so now I've got that as a backup, and I'll probably never use that. I'll probably not use the discs again. I tend not to on the Blu-ray box sets, mainly because then they can just sit on the shelf, because they are fairly fragile. But I did post this on Twitter. If you don't have the Season 8 box set yet, and by this point it is sold out everywhere basically, and you don't want to buy the American version, what you can buy is the Australian version, which is nearly identical. The only difference is generally on the Australian releases, in terms of the packaging, is rather than having two flaps that open for where the booklet is stored on, you might know in the UK one, there's two flaps, one on either side, and they open up, and that's where the booklet is stored, and you can see the TARDIS console in the background. On the packaging of the Australian ones, it's just apart from the Season 12 one, it's just a single flap that it slots in. So that's basically the difference. So yeah, but you can actually get that imported. You can go to JB Hi-Fi. That's JB Hi-Fi. And order it, and they actually do import to the UK, so you can get that way, or try Australian Amazon. I think might be a good option, and get the Australian one if you want, a one that basically fits in with the others, or you can just buy the American version. The American versions, it's generally a good way of getting the box sets if you miss out on them. That's generally what I would do, or wait until the inevitable, because it's going to get a reprint. They are gonna do a re-release of Season 8. It'll probably be a very limited one. But I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they do a repressing of Season 8 and release that out there, because they've done it with Seasons 12, 14, and previously, where they'll have later on another limited quantity of them released. So if you missed out on that, those are your options. Me personally, if I missed out on this initial release, which I nearly did, because Zoom was a bit of a pain in the arse about it, then I will just go for the Australian release, because it's the closest to the UK one, apart from the tiniest difference. But yeah, but I wouldn't be going on eBay and paying a bloody fortune for it. I wouldn't do that. The The packaging may be nice. It's not 4 times the price nice, but it's nice. It's not 4 times the price nice, though. So I wouldn't do that in that regard. In terms of the special features on that box set, the highlight is definitely the Terrence Dix tribute called Terrence and Me, which is a really nice and also it's also probably the saddest tribute. Because it was also the most recent as well because of Terrence Dix dying in 2019, and that is definitely a highlight. There's not many new special features on this box set, but it's a quality in terms of quantity this time around. So there's not as many new special features, but the ones that are there are really good. And the behind the sofas are really good as well. This time around, all the behind the sofas were good. And it was interesting as well seeing Shatagaran, I can't pronounce his last name properly, unfortunately. Watching him watch season 8 was pretty interesting. And because obviously, he is currently playing the Mask, so it was interesting to see his take on things as well. And also, and I've forgotten the actress's name who played Rani in the Sarah Jane version. It was interesting seeing her there as well. And I didn't recognise her at first. I didn't recognise her. It took me a while for it to, click in my head. It's like, oh yeah. So yeah, they were good. One thing I was disappointed on, that Mind of Evil, they didn't really do anything with the restoration with that one, which is a shame. Because I thought they would have done some new colorization to it, to episode 1. The rest of the story is fine. I did notice, the colours on that seemed to fringe less, which there was less fringing this time around, so they did do that, but episode 1 obviously had to be manually colorized since it didn't have the blue chromadox, I think it was, that was missing. So it would have been nice if, they did do that again. I understand it's expensive. But, I would have hoped they would have done it at least for episode 1. At least for episode 1, but otherwise it looks mostly the same as its previous DVD release. I would say that one's probably the most similar to its DVD counterpart in terms of that. But yeah. Don't know everything else. Really happy with season 8. Really happy, and I did just power through it and binge watch it all in one go. But really happy with season 8, and obviously later in the year we're going to be having season 24 and Web of Fear. So that'll be interesting to have in the collection. Particularly, season 24 we're going to have extended versions of all 4 stories, if I remember rightly. Dark Apocalypse asks, has there been any leaks in terms of the figures? No new leaks as of yet. I mean, basically, the person that at B&M who did leak that, basically, he only can leak what he actually knows, which is the title. I mean, at B&M, it's very limited information. Generally, it's more about generally barcodes and products. So we have barcodes and we know what the products are, but what they'll contain, we can only speculate. I mean, we basically know what the 2 Dalek sets are going to contain. The first Dr. TARDIS can only really be one of 2 things. It'll either be the stacked roof one or be the flat roof one. It'll basically be one of those 2. I'm going to hazard a guess, and it'll probably be the stacked roof, just to distinguish it a bit more from Troughton's. But we'll see. In terms of the other sets of 3 packs, again, speculating till your heart's content, but when we'll get full announcements of them, I'm gonna guess if they're coming out at the end of July, which is the plan, then I'd say they probably will be properly announced at the end of June or very start of July. I would be guessing, because that's generally how Aldebar goes about it. He generally doesn't officially reveal anything until it's 3 or 4 weeks before they're supposed to come out. which isn't always obviously the case, but that's generally what things are going to do. And things will hopefully go a bit smoother this time around than they did last time around, because, you know, last time when the sex guide coming out, we were, for the most part, still in lockdown for lots of it. But this time, obviously, you know, we're starting to come out of a lockdown on April 12th, for example. You know, non-essential retail will actually open as well, which will be nice. And then by, I think it's, what is it, 21st of June, end of June, we're meant to, you know, pretty much almost be life back to normal, kind of. I mean, we'll still be wearing masks for the most part, but by then, you know, and then obviously in July, fully back. I mean, for example, I I'm already booked for Blackpool this year, so I'll be doing, since, you know, people seem to like them, I'll be doing another Doctor Who search for memorabilia in Blackpool, Liverpool, and Southport. Again, because I asked last year whether you just wanted us to go to the same places again and to see how it is, because, you know, there's only so many people dig. So, yeah. I mean, last year it was less of search for Doctor Who memorabilia and more of me wander around the place for an hour and a bit. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes this time around. That'll be coming in June-ish. But there are other things happening. Literally, stuff that is literally happening just behind the camera. So, Medusa, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, hello. By the way, I just got a 12-inch remote control Dalek. I cannot wait to arrive to use it. Okay. The Monster of Monsters. This title is very accurate. Yeah. Do you like... awesome ability. Do you like 0.20? I do, but recently there is one thing he has been doing which is getting a bit irritating, is the very clickbaity thumbnails and titles that he's been doing recently. And he seems to think that because, you know, some of the big YouTubers do this in their videos, oh, that's the way just that you do it to become successful. And yes and no. Because generally when you do the ones who do the clickbaity title have also a bigger variety of what they do on their channel. I was actually talking to a friend about this. But, you know, 0.20 is, you know, basically just showing off just showing his Doctor Who merchandise. And that you know. So generally, you know, despite how much you can go, ooh, what is this in the clip, and, you know, doing a mystery title kind of thing, you can kind of gather, you know, it can only be so many limited things, because this is the very, very limited area of videos and that you do. I mean, I'm the same. That's why, you know, whenever I review something on this channel, you know, it's going to be something Doctor Who related. That's just the way it goes. So, yeah, I do like his videos, but I have found recently I've been getting a little bit annoyed at just these very clickbaity thumbnails and titles. The videos themselves, fine, but, you know, I have noticed that recently, and whether you agree or disagree with that, you know, it's up to you. But I just find that I much prefer the more direct titles, and whether it actually has made a difference to his views and that, I couldn't really tell you. You'd have to look at his analytics to see that. But personally, I just prefer the more direct titles. I mean, you can have a bit more mysterious in it, but yeah, I just liked, to be honest, I'd be more inclined to watch a video if I actually knew what it was, rather than all being mysterious. Because, you know, if it's something I want to watch, it's something I want to watch. If I see a video where it's just like, ooh, what is this mystery thing, I'm just kind of like, probably going to be disappointed by it, and I'm more inclined to skip it. But that's just me personally. You might think differently. Darker Box. Honestly, I think Doctor Zero Who needs to calm down with collecting figures. If you just saw what was behind the camera, you know, I'll show what's behind the camera in a second. those who follow me on Twitter will already know this, but there's something I have to talk about in a minute. Awesome Ginge beardy guy. I recently got the San Diego Comic Con Regeneration 5th Doctor figure, and I'm disappointed with the slight blue paint bleed on the blue. There isn't any blue on the scarf. It's purple, not blue. So if there is blue on yours, I'm not sure what's happening, but it is a blue, not blue. It is a purple, sorry. In fact, I'm actually looking at my BBC Shop Season 18 scarf over there. Stephen and Drake. I'm dyslexic, can you tell? We'll just call you Stephen. Yeah, it is a bit annoying. I can only take so much decal crap he found in his garage. Yeah, it's also a thing, because Zero Doctor Zero Who's channel, it used to be just him, showing off the rare Dapol figures that he had, which was legitimately interesting, and one of the few YouTube channels where you could actually see that and was dedicated to that. The only problem is that eventually there is only so much Dapol stuff you can actually show. So yeah, I can understand that. With me, it was kind of the same thing. Once he went through showing all of the Dapol stuff, and then it just went, okay, let's show the same Dapol stuff again. And this is what I've got. I mean, I do the same thing, so I can't tell, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from with in terms of that regards. Blah, 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 blah. There's other stuff is fun. Yeah, when he does go to some other stuff and talks about that. I think there was a stage. I remember there was a staging on his channel where for some reason he wore a mask. For some reason, like he wore a white mask. And didn't show his face, even though he previously showed his face in other videos. I'm pretty sure that was him. He did that for a little while, and I can't fathom why. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him, and you can look back where it used to be, where he'd have a phase where he didn't show his face, even though he showed his face in previous videos before that. It was a bit weird, but now obviously, he shows his face in that all the time. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird phase on his channel where he did that. If that was indeed, I might be mixing him up with someone else, but I'm pretty sure it was him, and it was quite a while ago. Yeah. I despise Zero Doctor Zero because I think he took a clip out of one of those KSI Reddit videos where KSI said, well, thank you, Raven, and said he got a shout out from KSI. Yeah, I have noticed he seems to be I don't know. I mean, I think he's trying to be a bigger Doctor YouTuber than he realistically is. Like, if you're a Doctor YouTuber, even the most popular ones, we'll see his name, everyone, Batman March. Batman March's YouTube channel may seem big as a Doctor Who YouTube channel, but in terms of our YouTube channel, it is fucking tiny. Compared to all, loads of other YouTube channels, his channel is absolutely tiny. It is, Microsoft in comparison to, the big YouTube channels, because they have much more mass appeal. Doctor Who, and having a Doctor Who YouTube channel, and having a Doctor Who YouTube channel where you review Doctor Who merchandise is incredibly niche. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's a really good thing. I think that, there is an appeal to a more niche market, but you're never gonna be on the same level as like the big YouTubers if you're gonna just do something so niche. It's just a thing. Unless that thing becomes the mainstream and popular, which, let's face it probably isn't, especially now, then yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. I mean, next month I'll have been on YouTube for 10 years. And believe me, I've actually done research in this and looked at it, and if I did want to become more successful, I probably could, but I won't, because it's not the type of videos I would want to do. For example, I do actually have a technology channel, which for a time was actually getting more popular, but I just didn't want to do it anymore. I could do a gaming channel, but I just don't want to do that. So yeah, it's kind of a balancing act with that. But there's one thing. KSI reacts to another channel called Revency, which is way more popular than him. I commented him about it, and he just deleted the comment. Oh yeah. I've never seen him delete a comment before. Then again, I don't watch him as much as I used to. I only occasionally watch his videos nowadays. I mean, I myself, the only time I generally have deleted a comment is when I have a fucking bot comment. I've had this recently. I've had this for quite a while now, actually. Where on quite a few of my videos, I'll have a bot comment a link to basically scam money out of you, and that's the only time where I'll delete it and report it to YouTube. Otherwise, see what the fuck you like. I don't care. But yeah, in terms of that regards, that's happening there. So yeah, I've talked about obviously season 8 and that, and there's some other things to talk about. So for those who are newer or those who are older, so those who've been watching me a while, you might notice, hey, things have looked a bit different. Are you in a different location? Yes, I'm at my granny's house, and my granny is currently recovering in a care home at the minute, who will eventually, more than likely, 90% certain, she will be moving into a apartment home thing where she'll also have carers to look after her, which means that obviously this house will unfortunately have to go. So it means I have to start moving my stuff back home. The problem is I don't have the fucking room. I mean, I did announce this on Twitter the other day, but I'll just show you. So I have started moving my Doctor Who stuff at my granny's downstairs. This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. This is just some of it I moved downstairs. I will be doing proper videos on the whole thing. But yeah, this is just some of the stuff like I've moved downstairs from upstairs, and there's an awful lot more stuff I even haven't done videos on that on, which is, you know, upstairs and that, including my hi-fi, which has my turntable, my cassette decks, and all my records. They all have to come home. So yeah, basically, I've been a little bit stressed out recently, having to plan everything out. And the plan is, over the next few weeks, couple of weeks or so, me and my guy's going to help me completely clear out my room if we can. The plan is currently I do actually have a bunk bed, which the bottom bunk is just filled with stuff. The bottom bunk is just used for storage, and there's tons of shite on there, tons of stuff on there. The problem is there's nowhere for it to go, and also I plan to get rid of one of my wardrobes as well, but I do plan to get, you know, a new high top bed or cabin bed or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and get some new shelving units, all from IKEA, because of course it does. I wouldn't be a YouTuber if I didn't go to fucking IKEA. So yeah, that's the plan with that. I will be documenting the process most likely because people have asked me to. So I will document the process of how it goes, because there's a lot to do, an awful lot to do. It's basically try and fit 2 households worth of stuff into one room, and then at the same time, you know, sometime this year, later in the year after lockdown finishes, my other grandparents, they'll be downsizing their house as well. So all my Doctor Who stuff has to come from there, which is not as bad. The Doctor Who stuff, all that stuff you just saw, that is not going to be going in my actual room because I don't have the room for it. That will actually be going in the garage. All that will be going in the garage. It won't go just as is, obviously. I will probably... I was going to say I'll put it in storage boxes, but that'll cost a fortune in storage boxes, so... I'll probably wrap it up in bubble wrap and bags and put it in the garage, because I've gotten to that point. I've got no room. I've got no room there. So it's just a case of deciding what stays in my room what goes. And basically, I've decided anything that is in a box, that's already in a box, so anything, you know, the B&M sets or whatever, if it's in a box, it goes up in the loft or it goes in the garage. That's it. If it's not in a box, then it'll stay in the room. For example, any of my loose, you know, unboxed Product Enterprise Daleks or my 18-inch Daleks, they're going to stay in my room because they don't have a box. So they'll stay in there. Yeah, I can actually show you. I'll show you the shelving unit, actually. Where is it? So, yeah, that is the shelving unit that I plan to hopefully get. I'll have to measure things out to make sure everything fits. And then this is the new bed I plan on getting. Again, very early into this. Things have to be cleared. You know, basically, it's just a thing of how long have I got to do it? Because it is, you know, limited time. There's a lot of stuff here. There's actually a TV down on the floor over there. I can't really show that. Tripods in the bloody way of everything. But yeah, that's all there. And it is a lot of stuff. And obviously, I don't, you know, some people have asked me in the past, oh, why don't you have all your Got To stuff on display? I would love to. I'd also love to live in a mansion, but unfortunately, yeah, that just isn't the case. That isn't the case. Like, I mean, like, for example, PB Props, all of his Got To stuff and collectibles, apart from a very tiny percentage of it, is kept in a cupboard. Mine is kept across several houses because there is just that much. They do take up space, unfortunately, physical space. So, yeah, I mean, basically, if anyone's looking into collecting .2 memorabilia of any kind, be prepared for it to take up a fuck ton of space. An awful lot of space. So, yeah, basically, the .2 stuff, anything that's in box, that's going to have to go out of the room. It's going to have to go up in the loft. And that's the only exception, you know, with basically no exceptions. Because my turntable, that's my records and my hi-fi, that's all stay in the room. Because, you know, it has to, and that takes up, and my hi-fi, my full hi-fi and records, they take up a lot of space. So, unfortunately, you know, access is unfortunately the case. So, yeah. I'll go back to the comments actually, see what people are saying. Yeah. Dark Apocalypse, sell your stuff. I don't sell my stuff. No, I'm not selling my stuff, Dark Apocalypse, no. Because the whole point is to keep all my stuff, and I like having all my stuff, so no, I will not sell any of it. I'm keeping all my Doxu stuff. None of it is getting rid of. It is all staying. So none of it is going. All of it is staying, and I will not sell any of it. Because, you know, I like having all my Doxu stuff. And it's, you know, a lot of it is taking me years and years to collect. And it's fucking expensive, so no, I am not selling it. Stephen says, you may either looking to getting a storage unit or perhaps selling your stuff. Yeah, not selling my stuff. Like, a lot of people have said, sell some of your stuff. No, not selling any of it. I don't sell my stuff generally. I keep it. The only cases where I do sell something is if I've got an extra one of something that I don't need. But I need all my stuff. I like all my stuff. So, no, we do have storage in terms of, like, at my house at home. We have our regular garage, which is part of our house. And then we have a council garage next door, which I'm going to help my dad clear out because it's basically got a load of old bikes and crap in there that was just like kind of shoved in there, and it's been in there for like 6, 7, 8 years. So that can all be gotten. That can all be chucked out, and then that'll create more space. But my dad assured me, you know, all my stuff will fit in there somewhere. All should all be fine, but it's going to be a big job, and it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time, but this can also be a benefit. This can also be a benefit because if I do fully clear out my room, get the new bunk bed, I can get, you know, more space. And if I'm lucky enough to have enough, because in my room currently, I actually have two arms, metal arms that are screwed onto the windowsill, clamped onto the windowsill with screws. And one of them is my Blue Snowball microphone, and the other one has a 1/4-inch tripod mount, which I will probably put one of my LED ring lights on. I did think of putting my camera on, and I did try it, and it did support the camera, but it was a bit wobbly. So I think with my camera, I'll stick to using my tripod, but, you know, it'd be nice to be able to, you know, just have the ring lights just be there and just have them adjust around the desk, because currently I don't really have a permanent, unlike a lot of YouTubers, I don't have a permanent, like, fixture of, right, this is where I make the videos, this is where all of them are made. For me, it's just like when and where I can. Generally, most of the time, usually they are filmed at my desk. They are filmed at my desk, and whenever I do my figure reviews, generally I film them at my desk on top of my actual laptop. I have to close the laptop and put the figures on top. So generally that's what's the case. But if I have more space, if I have a space to actually do them in, that'd be, you know, even better. No. So awesome ginger bearded guy. I think any YouTuber wholesale credits or shout out clickbaits. Well, I don't know any YouTuber who stole credit from a shout out and clickbait it from him. Okay. I'm not quite sure what you were saying right there, but okay. Dark Apocalypse, why can't you just sell your stuff? The ones that you don't want. The problem is, I want all of it. I paid for all of it. So of course I fucking want all of it. That's the thing. It's not a case of, oh, I've got to keep everything. No. I want to keep everything. I have paid for everything. A lot of the stuff I had to save up for and search for a long time, some of it. So of course I want to keep it all. And a lot of people ask the question, how do you afford all your stuff? That is because a lot of the time I have to save up for it and plan ahead as well. I do plan ahead quite a lot. And I also give myself flowcharts on basically how much I can spend each month. For example, you might be wondering, you know, why didn't I buy, for example, all of RB's Sonics at once? Why was I only buying one a month? And the reason is I could afford to buy one a month, but I couldn't afford to buy all of them at the same time, which is why. But obviously, you know, things have changed for that. But yeah, that's why I didn't buy all of them at once. I bought one at a time, one a month, because that's how I could afford them. If that makes any sense. But yeah. Sell Captain CameraFi for... No. Absolutely not. I'm assuming you're trying to make... I'm hoping that's a joke. Awesome gingy beardy guy. I'm hoping that's a joke, but there is no... even if I was to sell, there's no chance in this earth I'm selling it at Captain Jimmy Pie. I'm hoping that is a joke. Oh, I'm hoping that is a joke. The Monks of Monks says, if Zero Doctor Zero Who said that is, then it was probably a joke. No, watch his video where he has case. I don't really want to. I don't really want. If you link it, I might have a quick look, but can't be asked, really. Then go in the comments of the video. He's got nothing. He's got nothing like that since. Okay. I mean, yeah, we've all tried to do mental stuff in YouTube to see if it can boost any views or anything like that. Something I should mention, actually. Remember these TARDIS keys that I reviewed? Well, unfortunately, the chain unfortunately broke because basically I had it hanging up, and unfortunately, when I was walking past it, my belt loop got caught on it, pulled, and it snapped the chain. So I've had to sort of link them together with this extra bit hanging off there. So yeah, unfortunately that happened. I mean, I can replace the chain, but at the end of the day, would it really be worth it? But yeah, at the moment, I've just got this extra piece of chain, which at some point I'll probably have to either fix or remove. I could fix it. I could fix it, but there's a much of a point. Really, because meh. Because I did actually wear that one for a bit. I did actually wear those TARDIS keys for a couple of weeks before they broke. So I'm not talking to you, Six Sec. I'm talking to the Monks of Madness. Okay. Andy J, why don't you move out so you have more space? Because I can't afford to. Because currently, at the camera recording this, I don't actually have a job. So, yeah, I cannot afford to move out. It'd be nice, but yeah, I just cannot afford to move out. I just can't. I do pay my parents some rent, but tiny amount. I pay them half my universal credit. And yeah, I just cannot afford to move out. Generally, so yeah. Plus, if I did, I would also lose a lot of the luxuries, like and I have to literally pay for everything myself. All the electric bills and everything myself. So yeah, can't afford to do that. Especially now. Jesus Christ, have housing prices gone up? Everything's gone up, unsurprisingly. So, yeah. Be not, be nice exact someday, but that won't happen until I have a secure job and an income that's great enough to actually cover that, and when it's actually affordable to, because at the moment it's not. It's not, especially for someone like me. It's just not. It's really fucking not. So yeah. Tell you what I could do. Since I'm doing this live stream on my phone, I could actually show you how some of my videos are actually set up when I record them. I can actually do that now. Yeah, I'll do that now just for shits and giggles. So I'll switch the cameras. So yeah, floor's a bit of a mess at the minute. So this chair here is the chair that I recorded my TARDIS keys video and a couple of recent ones. I recorded them on here because this chair actually has a velvet seat. So let's go grab the camera. Let's grab the camera. Alright, so here it is. Here's the camera. Now, I'm annoyed at my brother because the little shit knocked this over the other day. Just came in, knocked it over, and it was in the corner over there because he was bloody kicking a ball around and shit. And he knocked this over and wasn't even going to pick up. And because of that, he bent the microphone jack, which is annoying. It still works, thankfully, but yeah, a little bit concerned about that. So normally I actually have the microphone pointing this way. Again, I'm going to have to put this down because I'm trying to do everything one-handed with a wire across the room. There we go. So yeah, normally I have the microphone pointing towards me, and then I'm normally shooting like this. There we go. So the good thing about having the microphone here is my ring light, which is this, which any YouTuber, get a fucking ring light. These are very useful. I do have several, but the good thing about this one is that it can just hook right round there like that, so it means it's literally just behind the camera, so it lights up everything. And it's, you know, just USB powered, so that's nice. So yeah, generally, and also have a camera with a rotatable viewfinder. Yeah, I know some people have said, oh, get a one with a monitor. For me, if you're directly close to it, my eyes are fine for that. It has built-in Wi-Fi as well, so I could use my tablet if I wanted to. But yeah, this is what my videos are being shot on since 2019, mid 2019, which is a Panasonic DMC G7 camera, which is really good. Is a really good, affordable 4K camera. But you can't buy this one anymore because it's been discontinued. So yeah, that's why I got it for a cheap price. But also have a decent, quality tripod. This one is a decent quality one because the camera, my phone is currently on a really cheap eBay tripod, which is fine for my phone, but this will topple over if I try and use it with this. This one though,